Hi, my name is Richard Lyle, and today we're going to talk about making our own gesso boards. Do this by buying a sheet of masonite or hardboard at the hardware store, and it's 8 feet by 4 feet. Use a saw, circular saw, a clamp-on guide for the saw, and you cut the pieces. Here you see me putting the clamp on the board. It's 1/8 inch thick. The sheet cost me 14 something at the hardware store. I also have four 4-foot pieces of 2x4 that I have underneath the masonite that keep it off the table. I also adjusted the blade on the circular saw so it only cuts through the masonite by maybe 3/4 of an inch. So that with the 2x4s, the saw can't touch the table. Now I line up two of the 2x4s very close. One's almost directly under the guide. Another one's about 5 inches away from the guide. And I also have a piece right at the edge of the table. You want to give support so you can push down on the saw as it's cutting the masonite. So it helps to have that 2x4 close to the guard. And I check everything 2 or 3 times to make sure nothing's going to hit. I don't need to cut through the 2x4 or cut into the 2x4. Make sure the wires are in front of me. You want the wire so you can see it in the front of you. You don't want to cut the wire with the saw, especially an aluminum guard there. Even there, the wire caught a little on the saw. I thought it was going to catch, so made sure that the wire wasn't going to catch on anything. You don't want the wire either on the ground either, because you can step on the wire and then all of a sudden halfway through the sheet you're fighting the wire and you can pull the saw right into the guard or make it bind up and kick back. So it's important to keep that wire out in front of you, out where you can see it. With my saw I had to add almost 3 inches to the space that I had to give the guard. So I was cutting an 18 piece of masonite and I had to put almost 22 inches, measure it. It was just about an 1/8 inch shy of 22 inches. And now I'm double checking to make sure I did everything right. And it came out to 18 inches. So the saw blade is about, on my saw, it's measured almost 3 inches from the edge of the saw guide to the aluminum guide on that clamped on. Gives you a very straight edge. Now I'm just moving everything. Best thing to do is move everything out of the way. Don't want damage to cord or anything. Don't want to trip on anything. Move the sheet so you can cut off into an 18 strip. Use the same process over again. I'm measuring for 21 inches and 7/8. Now you can cut right on the line. Exactly like if you want an 18 inch, I cut right on the line for 18 inches. Because what happens is the blade isn't that thick, so you don't lose that much. It's a super fine, thin blade, 100 tooth, made to cut through masonite. So it has a very narrow blade. So altogether, it's something like 3/16 that you lose. When you put the gesso on the hardboard, it overruns the edge, and you probably still have to sand off a little to get it into a frame that's made for whatever size you cut it to. So losing a little bit with the blade has no effect at all. With small pieces, I don't use the guard. I use the guard to cut long strips, and for example, if I wanted 12 by 16s, I would just cut 10 12-inch long strips across it, and then I would cut 3/16 inch pieces out of that one strip. So I would come up with 24 pieces in the end from one sheet. And in the art store they get $15 just for one gesso board, 12 inches by 16 inches, and 1/8 inch thick, with gesso already on, primed, and they'll get $15 for that, and the whole sheet costs less than $15. But I do have to put gesso on it. But when I buy the panels from the store, I still put a coat of gesso on it, because from the store it's just too smooth and it's too hard to work with. You need more texture to it. So I either use a roller or a paintbrush to put the gesso on, even if I buy it from the store with gesso on it. So now I'll go get the saw again. I'm just seeing how everything lines up, don't worry. I'll pull the wire up where I can see it. Gotta make sure it doesn't catch on the guard too. sometimes you gotta pull up the safety guard on the saw a little, because with the thin masonite, sometimes the guard catches on it. So for the first half inch, sometimes you gotta pull up on that guard when you just first start cutting. After you cut a little, then the guard works. Here I am. Got another strip. I completed that 5 times. You can cut the size pieces of masonite any size you want. You can have random sizes. You can make some one size and some another size. I normally like to try to figure out what sizes work best for what I need, and then how I can get the most out of the sheet of masonite with no waste. Now, in this case, I had no choice. I had to make the masonite gesso board because I'm looking for 16 by 9, which isn't a standard size, or that ratio, 16 to 9, because that's the size that videos use for YouTube. So I wanted the picture to be the right size for YouTube so I don't have to do any editing. Here I am putting the gesso on the board. It's really quite easy. It's just like a very heavy white paint. It's a water-based paint with a ground marble in it, and you just paint it on there. At one time, you couldn't use the tempered hardboard because that shiny surface was way too hard and smooth, and the gesso didn't soak into it. But over the years they have changed it a little, so you used to have to buy untempered to put the gesso on, but now even they're tempered in like Home Depot or Lowe's, the gesso soaks into, so it's fine. If you see a sheet of the old masonite, you'll see that it's much harder and shinier. Whatever process they use to temper it, they either do it for a shorter period of time or maybe with less pressure or less heat. I don't know. I normally put 2 coats on. This is the first coat. It dries pretty fast. You can put another coat on in like an hour or 2. You need to sand it a little so it fits in the frame, because like I said, the gesso runs over the edge a little, over the whole surface edge. Here I have exactly what I used: the sheet of hardwood, the cost, and then I have how much the gesso board costs, and how you can save a considerable amount of money. Even if you, for the first time, even if you have to buy the clamp and the saw and the special blade for the saw and all, you still wind up saving $176 for your first 24 panels. And if you're serious about painting, you'll go through 24 panels really fast. Like I said, you can see that I have quite a few different sizes that I use.